Welcome to this video demonstration on completing the leader review for the APP results review process. When it is time for you to complete the leader review, you'll receive notification that the APP has completed their self-review. So once you log into eMERGE after seeing that, you'll see a task that says complete feedback process for the employee's fiscal year 17 results review. If you click on that task, then really at this point what we're going to do, we can see that this is awaiting feedback if applicable. What we're going to do at this point is just click close pending reviews and proceed so that we can move on to the leader review. Click OK on that pop-up, and then what we're going to do at the top here is just click results review to take us to the leader review page. So right now what we're seeing is the leader review page for the APP review. Now if you did have additional feedback that was requested, you'd be able to see that information up at top here. So you'd be able to see the feedback nominations and status for the individuals who were requested, and you'd be able to see whether their individual comments, you could pick the individuals and see their specific comments, or if you would click on feedback aggregate comments and then click on the dialog box, you would see all of the feedback as it would be presented to the individual. What we're going to focus on right now is actually completing that leader review. So we'll go to the results review page. You'll see the overview with some instructions about the entire page of what you are filling out. Essentially what we're doing is we're going through and we're assessing goals. So these should be what you approved at the beginning of the fiscal year. We'll go through dimensions as well and assess on both APP specific and MCW dimensions, and then there's an overall section that we will go through. So in terms of the goals, this is obviously just an example. You would see the information in terms of the title and the description on the left-hand side. The APP, if they completed the self-review, will actually enter in what those actual results were for that goal. Then you'll also see if the goal was achieved, you would see their assessment, and then this is where you would be able to add your own assessment, and this is on a scale of not applicable, outstanding, advanced, solid, varied, and unsatisfactory. For a little bit of definition around what each of those mean, you can click on a link within the instructions to be taken to a page that gives you indicators of each of those. Now you can also edit the actual results. So if you don't agree with what the APP said, or potentially they didn't complete the self-review, you can actually fill in that box. But the only thing that's required for you is this leader assessment. You can also add in any comments or any attachments that will support the assessment that you gave, and if you feel there is the need for any development activities for that individual, you can click on that button and type in a development activity for them to participate in. Once we get done with all of the goals, we'll move into dimensions, and if you want a review on the definitions and indicators for the MCW dimensions, you can click on the link that is found there. Then as we scroll through, you'll see the APP dimensions, medical knowledge, patient care. We'll go through all of those, but you'll see the APP assessment, and then you can also give your assessment, again, same scale as we saw before, and you can add any comments in support of that assessment. So quite a few here for the APPs. This is the same as what was on the paper form that had been filled out several years ago. We have patient care as well. We'll go into practice-based learning and improvement. And for each of these, we do need to assess the particular area. Professionalism, again, we have interpersonal and communication skills, and system-based practice. So those are the APP specific dimensions. Again, the assessment and leader comments if you would like to add comments. Then we get into the MCW dimensions. There are 5 of those, and again, you can see the APP's assessment of themselves if they completed that, and then you would be able to enter in your assessment, which is required, and then any applicable comments. Once we get done with all of the dimensions, then we get into the overall section, and you'll see right at top, you'll see your overall assessment that has been calculated based on the responses and the assessment that you gave for goals and dimensions, as well as the APP's overall assessment. And this is calculated at 40% goals, 60% dimensions, so both of them play a factor into the overall. Then what you'll be able to do is actually see any overall comments that the APP has made, what they consider their strengths as APA or APN, and then opportunities for improvement, anything that they want to do where they could become even more successful. Then we have planned goals for next fiscal year, so this is an opportunity for this individual to enter in, or for you to enter in, anything that you would like them to work on for the next fiscal year. This by no means is exactly what they'll have to do. This is by no means what they're going to be tied to in Emerge for next fiscal year. It's an opportunity for you to discuss those things. They also have the opportunity to enter in any short or long-term career goals that they may want to pursue to really spur on that career conversation that we're hopefully having with them, and then any additional support or resources that they would need from you or the institution or just their team to be successful in their role. The final piece is leader overall comments, so you can add anything in support of that individual or just comments about their performance for the past year, and then any attachments that you would want to add. Now, a few buttons that I want to point out. The first one is this delegate this process button on the bottom. If you are not the individual to assess on certain areas, for instance, if you're an administrative leader and you don't oversee this person in the clinic setting perhaps, you may want to delegate this to the individual who more oversees their work in the clinic. And to do that, you would just click delegate this process, and you would scroll down to delegatees, and we would add the individual just by clicking add, typing in the name of the person that we would want to add in the text box. After we typed their name in and highlighted them, we would click OK, and then they would show up here as someone who would fill out that review for that individual. So for instance, let's say it's specifically the APP dimensions that you want someone else to fill out. You could add their name, give them a call, or send them an email and say, hey, I'd really like you to provide input on this person's review, and ask them to do that. They would see the same form that you see. They could fill out that information. And then one of you, when you're done, would hit the submit button. So when the entire review is done, when all of the fields are completed, we would hit submit. Before that time, if you were delegating, you would hit save, wait till that other person has completed, and then hit submit. So save is just that. It will save the form exactly where it is. It will save all of the fields, and you can come back and finish it at any time. Submit is actually what's going to send it to that face-to-face step, where you will have the face-to-face meeting and then ultimately pass it along for the APP to sign off. Now on the left-hand side, we have View Journal, which if you have made any journal entries on this individual throughout the year, you can click on that to see those, and that may inform or impact the assessments that you give for different dimensions or perhaps even the goals. And same thing with recognition. You can view any recognition notes that this individual has received, at which point you can use those again to inform your assessment that you are giving. We're going to click Submit, and this basically just moves them to the next step in the process, which is the face-to-face. So we can see here that we are at the face-to-face. Thanks for joining us for this video demonstration on completing the leader review step within the Emerge process. If you have questions, please contact the talent development team, and we hope that you join for additional video demonstrations on more parts of the Emerge process.